today, from Columbus, Ohio, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Columbus Aviators taking on the Salt Lake City Elks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks. Certainly two. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the...
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Catch made here by Campbell. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. He'll look to throw, and that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
They're going to look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
7 yards, the pickup there. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on. And they give this time to the tailback. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Hey, we're going to do what we do.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll look to throw here. Caught on the slant. And he's brought down.
And oftentimes we think about statement drives in the second halves of games, especially in the 4th quarter. But here, it's happening.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Elks march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
A try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
The drive starts with a completion left side. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Shoves him aside near the 35. So that one will be accepted. Now back to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end round. Complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The numbers for him from a week ago: 7 catches, 60 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carter. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week, and here we go again in the 1st quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. This from 54 yards away. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
2nd and 9 now. Can't get away, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation. And they took advantage of the young man right there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Working with a 2nd and 3. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Now a handoff here to his running back. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
2nd and 10. And they'll try to run the option here. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
They ain't on our side.
On 2nd down now. Rushing. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 2nd and 5 from the 8. They'll set up a throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, they bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And this is going to be incomplete. And on now is the punter as he's on here to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a throw here to his running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. And to give this time to the tailback. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. On 1st down, Crockett, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bailey. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and, boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he's brought down. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Over the middle, complete. That's Bush. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Cruz. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. Reach halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the third quarter. Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
That catch good for only a couple. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a dump off here complete. That catch good for only a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Randolph. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. And he fires one incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it. Going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he rifles it complete. Caught by Landry. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And this pass broken up.
The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that.
In trouble, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A throw over the middle, taken in.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got it for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now here's a throw that's complete.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
2nd down at 7.
They'll look to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll run on first down. Randolph.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line.
On first down, Randolph. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Randolph. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 51 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They'll run on first down. Randolph. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Now a play fake here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be about a yard or 2 short of the first here. He needed the 35, but didn't make it.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And still just down 1 score. We'll see how big of a role that missed field goal plays, because it, of course, could have pushed this to a 2-possession deficit for them. Well, that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. On 1st down, Randolph, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. He'll decide to keep this once more. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. He'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. On play action, they'll throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And as a result, possession switches hands. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Barnett. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it a 2nd down. Clock rolling here. About to hit 30 seconds. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Salt Lake City, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Columbus, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.